So, hello, welcome to today's episode on Guitars and Gear, and we have
Dave Griffiths on slide guitar.
and he also known as
Guy Steel, which refers to my first guitar, which was a Guiatone.
We're going to go through Dave's weapons of choice very shortly. And so this guitar, do you have names for your guitars or?
Well, this
anything?
one's the Lovely Linda.
Lovely Linda.
How
there you
many
go.
times have you ever heard an announcer on the radio back announce and say that was the Lovely Linda Ronstadt? Happens all the time.
There we go.
So we have a nice lady shape here.
All right, there we go. The Linda.
So it's the Lovely Linda. She's got a lovely voice.
Yeah.
And as with Linda Ronstadt, she's got the turbocharged voice that can kick in.
Wow.
It's more of a traditional sound. I mean, I do sometimes have what you might call Hawaiian sound. Because when I learned guitar,
That's what you mean.
that's where we did it, with Hawaiian lap steel guitar. So I still have some of those. That sixth sound that's always used in Hawaiian music, and I sometimes, subconsciously even, just play those in a riff.
Yeah, right.
1, 2, 3, 4. This one here's Cindy.
Cindy.
Like Cindy Cash Dollar, because Cindy's partner has made her one that looks very similar to this. This is the newest guitar to my armoury. I wasn't going to buy any new guitars, but you know,
happens to us all, doesn't it?
we're all addicted.
Yeah. Retail therapy. Yeah, right.
Yeah. So next on the list is an 8-string guitar.
All right. Okay. There you go.
This was going to be an 8-string, but it has a special meaning. Once more, going back to meeting people at a jam.
Ah.
Northern New South Wales is a very well-respected guitarist, jazz, blues guitarist, Richard Baker.
Yep. He built it.
He
Yeah.
built a few of them. It's got his RMB on the top there, Richard Baker, luthier.
Awesome.
And it's got a Stuart McDonald humbucker pickup. Stuart used to do the pickups for Gibson way back then, Les Paul, so it's sort of
Yep.
looks a little
Yep.
Les Paulish because that's what it is. It's a short scale.
Yep.
It's
So how long is the scale?
22 3/4.
Yeah. Right.
Which suits my playing because I'm very heavy-handed with the bar.
And you don't come from long reach.
I tend to push down pretty hard.
Yeah.
And I
Right.
always have. That's just a quirk of my playing. I'm not a glide over the strings person.
Does that
So the
change the
shortest-
tone?
That does, yes.
Yeah,
So the
right.
shorter scale, the heavier strings. This one's in an E tuning. I normally run 14 through to 58.
Oh wow! I didn't even think of that. Yeah. You run 14s.
14.
That's like fencing wire to keep
Yeah.
kangaroos out.
So anyway, this is the beautiful little guitar that Richard Baker made.
What's the name of this guitar?
This cool little guy. It's the Red Devil.
Red Devil.
It's only simple. It's red.
Awesome.
It's a Peavey power slide
Yeah. Right.
because sometimes us lap slide players get sick of sitting down and everyone else is standing up, so we've got to join in with the big boys.
That's the
this
only
is-
reason you bought it, right?
Yeah, that's it. So I can do it stand. I might only use it once a night. No, not really. So it
And
has,
what key is it in?
This one's in D.
D.
Yeah. So the idea of the Peavey is it's got lots of connection points on there, so you can.
I can play
It's got
either
a
standing.
three-way strap, so I can
right.
I can have it at that.
Hence
that
why it's
level.
designed like that you can actually
Yeah, that's
play
right.
it
So
while
it has a
moving
three-way
around.
strap. I can use it like that. You can put it up the end if you want to,
Ah,
and it's got a slight cutaway at the back here. So if you were so inclined, you could have it up high and play slide this way.
oh wow.
I've never been comfortable playing slide like that. I'm more a Dave Hole slide player. Over the top.
Over the top. So Dave's through the Marshall on the slide guitar. His rat pedal doesn't have a light, so this is obviously
It's old.
it's off.
I think they came with an on-off light after about 1975.
So how old is that pedal?
Oh, I don't know. Okay, so this is the Guy Steel.
Because on Facebook you're known as.
Being a Guy-tone guitar,
Mm-hmm.
it's the Guy Steel. Now that's the Facebook page. So this one, I've taken it back to what may approximate my old 10-string pedal steel. So the high one, not being an E, is a G sharp.
Okay.
So we have a 10 on there to get up to a G sharp.
Oh right, so you changed the different
Yes,
string
yes,
tensions.
yes. So it could be called an E6th tuning or a C sharp minor 7th tuning. Of course, it's a C sharp minor with a B in it.
Wow.
But it made for nice chord voicings. If I was backing somebody, it wasn't a great deal of trouble to change from a 1 to 4 to 5.
Yeah.
And then because of the C sharp in there, slot a minor in there, relative minor.
Wow.
So it's useful for what might be termed Western swing sort of guitar, where they would have used a lap steel in a C6 tuning.
And how old is this one?
This one's 67. Done in 67. It's one of the. I don't know when Guy-tone's actually finished, but it's nearing the end. And you'll find most steel players won't have that G sharp. Normally a G sharp won't have that G sharp perfectly in tune. They'll have it just dropped a little bit, just a fraction. You're probably not even noticeable as an open chord, but when you get up to around the 7th, it brings it in straight. That's just a standard thing.
Because when you press on it, you're creating tension.
Yeah.
Well, I must say that just from learning this much about lap steel slide playing, like my respect for your playing has gone up way off the dial, because you're changing the tuning like every guitar like that. It's confusing now just talking about it. Yeah, as I said just before, just appreciating with the limitations of actually playing certain things, you need to be an expert on the harmony to find that you know, the third or the seventh through.
You do. You have to
picking your line.
think of it like a singer, I think.
Yeah, right. Okay, cool. Don't we all have to think of it like that?
I suppose so. So I played with Jim Dyson, and he paid me a compliment one time about how I sounded very lyrical, and I took that as a nice compliment.
I think Derek Trucks does that these days.
And Derek Trucks is yes. And one thing I try to do, and one thing that's I really love about the music, is going to music jams.
Yes, that's where we met.
And you meet all sorts of great people at music.
He's a great player.
I meet people that I would never get to meet or play with in my normal circle of music.
Right.
We haven't actually played together on stage yet.
Oh.
We've managed to avoid each other.
Oh. We'll have to fix that up. So I thought I first saw you at the Gold Coast Muso's Jam.
Gold Coast Muso's Jam is one of the best places for any guitarist, no matter what level you are, to go along
and meet some people.
Meet some people, find someone your own level, or even find someone better, because you don't get better unless you play with people.
That's exactly right. You've got to roll with the circles.
And Gold Coast Muso's Jam is just an absolutely wonderful place. And Steve and Tony that put the Gold Coast Muso's Jam on, they just do a wonderful job. We're just so indebted to them for getting it all together and just allowing us for somewhere to play. I've got to say, Pete McFarlane used to do the jam down at Treetops, and that was another wonderful experience. I get to play with people like Dale Robbins or Rob Rhodes, Rob Bostock. Who gets to get players to do Sultans of Swing with Rob Bostock?
Yeah,
you know, that would not happen in my normal musical experience. So there are things like that.
What was the other one we went to the other night? Bambinos.
Oh, Bambinos. Well,
yeah, that was pretty cool.
House band there is just absolutely top class.
Yeah, Mark Bergman's sensational player.
Yes. Glenn Thomas and Marshall on bass. Look, it's just...
Rob on drums.
Yes.
There was Paul, I think Paul was on drums.
Paul on drums and...
I was on guitar.
Yeah,
you were on guitar.
Yeah, but just going along to Muso's jams...
It's a scene, right?
Yeah.
It's just a scene.
And you just get to meet so many good people.
Yeah.
And it just improves your playing.
Yeah.
And I've crossed off so many things on the bucket list.
Yes.
People to play with that I would never normally play with. One in particular, Peter Hercombe, exceptionally good slide player and singer, guitarist in general. But I ran into Pete a couple of weeks ago, and he invited me to sit in with his band.
There you go.
Blind Willie Wagtail.
Yep.
At a gig last Saturday night.
Awesome.
Now that's not something that would have ever happened to me unless I'd been down, played on stage with him, and we have this mutual admiration of the sort of things we do. We're both playing slide, and it just fits in nicely.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, go and support some jams. If you're a musician, get out there and practice. Remember, being a guitarist or bassist, or you don't really have drummers, do you? But the end of the word ist is art from artist.
I think it'll be a drummerist.
Drummerist. It means in practice. So if you're a guitarist, it means you're in practice of guitaring. So you only get practice if you get out there and give it a go. Support the scene.
And I've had people say to me, "Well, why would you bother going when you're only going to get 3 or 4 songs?"
Well, it's not just about yourself, is it?
It's meeting people, but one of those songs might just be the highlight of your last 12 months. Sometimes...
Thank you for saying. That's great.
Sometimes that one song is worth the whole 12 months of going along.
Yeah. I'm glad you say it, because I just met a bass player lately, Kevy G, and like I would never have met him if I didn't go to the jam. And and it's like, oh wow.
But it's just nice to get along and have a play.
Yeah. And I think it's good too, as you said, if you get up for 3 or 4 songs, the socialising with musicians. So being around like minds, it's really important. Yeah, I think that's really good.
Right.
Yeah, so good on you, Steve and Tony. Keep it up.
Keep it up.